So my name is Hasnain, and I'm the Group Managing Director of the PrideInn. My journey actually began in, I studied in the University of Nottingham in the UK, and by education, I have a master's in manufacturing, engineering, and management. I passed with my first class honors there, and after doing my manufacturing engineering, I worked in the UK for a year in a manufacturing business. It was a cable manufacturing business. After working there, I was particularly working on quality systems review. I was in charge of taking the company of bringing the ISO 9001-2000 quality systems, and they had a huge, massive defect rate that I was supposed to work on. Indeed, it was quite challenging. It was nice, a lot of experiences. I did my work there for a year. I managed to bring the company to ISO 9001-2000. They had a huge defect rate of 35%, which is what I brought down to nearly 3%, which saved the company huge chunks of money and huge amounts of money. After working there for a year, and that's when I finished my first year contract, they offered me to stay on because they had other manufacturing businesses around Europe and they wanted me to stay on. But that's when I realized after studying for my 4 years, doing my master's and working for a year, is when I realized manufacturing was not something that I was really passionate about. And that's when I realized that, as much as I was working there for a year, it wasn't giving me the satisfaction. And I realized that, and I just thought, after working for a year, I kindly declined to come back down to Kenya. I came back down to Kenya, and obviously one of the things that I was lucky about is that we had a small family business as at that time, which was a car rental company and a driving school company. And the car rental company had a fleet of nearly 50 vehicles. And that's when, because I hadn't thought of much what I wanted to do. And my dad asked me, why don't you just join in the business? And in the meantime, whilst deciding what you really want to do, that's when I joined in the business, and I realized huge opportunity. So as I was just working, and I realized this was quite interesting, the car rental company. And I started meeting a lot of people, started meeting clients, started meeting suppliers and everyone. And it became interesting. And that's when I saw a huge opportunity coming up within the car rental and the leasing business. And I started expanding myself into the leasing business. And I started expanding myself into the leasing business. And within a span of 2 years, we managed to grow from just 53 vehicles within our car rental to nearly 180 vehicles, because I captured onto opportunities. So my journey through my entire career has been purely based on opportunities. So I will then tell you where we are currently at the moment. So the group is now called Pride Group. If you look at our slogan, it's making serious business fun. One of the key things that I believe in is that if you're not having fun in what you're doing, all right, you're spending nearly 70 or 80% of your life working. And if you're not having fun in what you're doing, then there's a problem there, because you're not going to achieve whatever you want to achieve if you're not having fun. You really need to enjoy what you are doing on a day in, day out basis. And that's something that you really need to ask. Example, if you are really passionate about something, but if I had continued working in the UK, or if I continued working in the manufacturing, I don't know if I would be where I am today, because I realized at that time that I wasn't having fun. So I'll just take you through a little bit about the Pride Group so that you understand. Then I'll take you through how various companies came about. So our slogan is making serious business fun. So right now, the Pride Group, we have a company. Under the Pride Group, we have PrideInn Hotels and Resorts. Under the PrideInn Hotels and Resorts, we have a total of 8 hotels. We started off PrideInn Hotels and Resorts in the year 2011, and with our first hotel, which was the PrideInn Westlands, with 28 rooms. Within a span of 8 to 9 years, we have expanded from 1 hotel to 8 hotels with over 1,000 rooms and conference capacities of over 5,000 people. And our first hotel started off with only 28 people. Today, under the Pride Group, under the PrideInn Hotels and Resorts, we employ over 1,000 people on board. We have 1,000 people that has direct employment. But within the span of 2011, a lot of these companies came about between 2011 and 2020. So apart from PrideInn Hotels and Resorts, which is where we have PrideInn Flamingo Beach Resort, there's a PrideInn Azure, Now, PrideInn Azure is one of those hotels that we took over just before COVID. We actually took over in February last year because that was our newest property. And we took over in February. We operated for just a month and a half. And by March 15th, COVID started coming in, and we had to start shutting down the business. We had to start shutting down the hospitality based on the government regulations. So I will also take you through in terms of how we've managed to survive that. We have the PrideInn Paradise Beach Resort Convention Center and Spa. Then there's the PrideInn, we have the PrideInn Westlands, PrideInn Mombasa. Now, over the period of time, we also created something known as Brickwood Apartments, Westlands Banquet Center. We have the Cake City Buffets of PrideInn, Glory Safaris, Motaiga Business Center, Pride Fuels, Pride Drive. So these are all the various companies within the group. I will just quickly take you through. Now, under the PrideInn Hotels and Resorts, we have the premium hotels, and then we have the comfort hotels: PrideInn Paradise Beach Resort, PrideInn Flamingo, PrideInn Azure. Under the comfort brand, we have the PrideInn Westlands, the PrideInn Mombasa, PrideInn Diani, and PrideInn Nyali. PrideInn Paradise is a 240 rooms with 10 conference rooms with our largest and it has actually, we have a convention center at the PrideInn Paradise Beach Resort, the only beach convention center in Africa. With our which holds up to 2,500 people. Just to show you some quick glimpse of what the hotel looks like. It's a beautiful beach resort with 240 rooms. This is the PrideInn Flamingo Beach Resort, which has 137 rooms. Again, 8 conference rooms holding up to 1,500 people. This is the PrideInn Flamingo Beach Resort, and all these 8 hotels have come about in the past 8 years, and specifically in the past 4 years, after we had understood the hospitality business a lot more. And like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you the 9 steps formula that I normally use to be able to grow all our businesses. And it's been particularly interesting. It's been working for us. This is PrideInn Mombasa with 32 rooms, 3 conference rooms, the Red Madafu. Then we have the PrideInn Nyali. Again, this is our comfort. Again, like we have this comes in under the comfort brand. Remember, we have the luxury brand and we have the comfort brand. Then we have the PrideInn Diani, 39 conference rooms, 39 rooms with 2 conference spaces. This was the PrideInn Azure, which has 162 rooms with 8 conference rooms. It's a beautiful building. It's a beautiful hotel in Nairobi, located in Westlands on Off Rafter Road. So this is the one that we took over just in January last year. We operated by end of January. We operated for only 1.5 months, and before we had to suspend operations. And it gave us a lot of learning lessons in terms of the sustainability and the future of hospitality, which is something that I'm going to talk about. This is the PrideInn Westlands. This is the one that we started. This was our first hotel. With 28 rooms, and currently at the moment we are now renovating it to a premium stylish boutique hotel. So PrideInn Hotels and Resorts, we started PrideInn Hotels and Resorts so like I said, I had initially said that I started working in the car rental business, and I grew the car rental business. Over time, I realized that I wanted to do a little bit more. And I decided to bring in a good team of people who are going to run the car rental business. And I had gone to Eldoret for just a weekend with friends. And as I was coming back from Eldoret, it just started thinking that, okay, if for an upcoming businessman like myself, if I was to stay in a hotel in Westlands in Nairobi, as at that time that was in 2009. And I started asking myself, if I was to stay in Westlands, where would I stay? I cannot afford the 5-star hotels because of the rates that they charge, which would be nearly $250 to $300, and neither do I want to go to the low end hotels. But I can afford a $100 hotel, and how am I going to go if I was to stay in Westlands? Where would I exactly stay in Westlands? And this thing was something that kept on ringing in my head. And as soon as I go back to Nairobi, I started going around Westlands to looking for a hotel that would suit my requirement. Now, remember, I was never a hotelier. It is just one of those questions that when I was coming back that came in, and I decided to do my research along Westlands. At that time, we had only maybe 2 hotels. And when I went to inquire about the rates were unaffordable. And that's when I realized that I wanted to create a $100 hotel. So the first thing that I asked myself a question was, if I was to create $100 hotel, all right, what is it that I need? What is it that an upcoming businessman like myself needs? And that's when I came out that when I go to a hotel, I want to have a good night's sleep. I get up in the morning, I want to have a nice hot and power shower, which is what I call relax shower. Once I've had my shower, I want to have a hot breakfast. And then there's business and Wi-Fi. So once I've had my breakfast, I want to do my working. So I want to either be able to have a meeting room, or I want to be able to do my business do my business. So I need good, so I need good Wi-Fi. And whilst I'm at the hotel, I want to feel secured for the entire day, making sure that my things at the hotel are secured. So maximum security. And once I finish my day's business, I want to have good food. So food variety. And that is what formed in the PrideInn promises, which is a good night's sleep, relaxed shower, hot breakfast, business and Wi-Fi, maximum security, and food variety. I realized that there was a huge opportunity. Now, I've always been one of those people that once I find an opportunity, I have to follow it up. And that's an area that, so I started looking at what I wanted to do. And I realized that if I wanted to do a $100 hotel, I had to make sure that my cost of running a hotel would be extremely low. And the only way to be able to bring in the cost of running a hotel to be extremely low is by making sure that the hotel was as green as possible. So we made sure that we did not waste a lot of space in having very large lobbies. We had LED lights. We used the solar hot water panels to make sure that the cost of running it was as low. Now, to ensure that I'm having good food variety, I could not afford having 3 or 4 restaurants because my spaces were small. And in the food variety, so what we did is that we created a multi-cuisine restaurant, which offered, and instead of having 3 restaurants, I divided the kitchen into being able to offer the continental, Indian, Chinese. And that's how the whole model came in about. And then came in the element of how do we get finance? How do we open the first hotel? My first hotel, we actually leased up the land. I thought that purchasing the land was going to be too expensive. So why not lease out the land? We had a discussion with one of the guys. I identified the space. We leased up the particular land, and that's when now we went around getting the finances. Getting the finances was the difficult part, but once you have got a proper solid business model that you've created, and I went knocking around to the various banks, because I was only 26, 27 as at that time, and there I am going to banks telling them that I want to open a hotel, and I have a degree in manufacturing engineering. And I want to open a 28 room now, because I didn't want to chance myself too much and I didn't want to risk it too much. I decided to open a small hotel, which was going to be, so our first hotel was only 28 rooms. And I knew exactly what I wanted to create. And when I was trying to understand this, I did talk to quite a number of friends, families to understand as to what they thought about the idea. And a lot of people chipped in terms of the ideas, in terms of what I should do and how I should do it. Friends, families, people who I could know, people who I could talk to. And after going through maybe like nearly 7 or 8 banks, after knocking on the doors of 7 to 8 banks, I managed to convince one bank finally to give me the funds. And they agreed to give me the funds to renovate. Now, remember, that was a risky venture for them, so they were taking the chance on me. But when I was presenting, I was so passionate about the project. I knew exactly what I wanted to create. And it was something that even the car rental business didn't give me that much passion as much as when I was creating this first hotel. I was so passionate about it. We started our project in 2009. It took us 2 years, from 2009 to 2011, to build the first hotel. And the reason was, ideally 28-room hotel should mostly take you maybe 7, 8 to 10 months to build. But fundings were getting locked over now again. I had started off with one particular budget, and my budget shot up. And then, those twos and fro's of convincing the banks and talking to them. But finally, in 2011, we managed to open the hotel. It was early 2011. And we put out the first signboards, saying that the first $100 hotel in Westlands. And we simply said $100 hotel, and we offered that. We said that our brand promise was a good night's sleep, relaxed shower, hot breakfast, business and Wi-Fi, maximum security, food variety. That is exactly what we communicated. We put in boards across the city in Westlands. And we also met a couple of clients. We decided we drew up all the couple of clients, and by that, the hotel became very popular. The first 6 months were a blessing. We were really running at 100% occupancies, if at all. we used to have more inquiries than what we could cater for. And it was so exciting. The banks were happy that they had taken a chance on me. We were paying back our loans. We were paying back our installments, monthly installments, and we were making some good money out of it. And it was exciting. I was so happy that the first project was going well. And this is what signaled in the expansion. So I realized that I wanted to really expand and grow quickly. And that is how the first hotel opened of PrideInn Westlands. And what we realized is that because it took us so long to build this, it took us very long, and realized for us to expand, if I was to build afresh every time, it was going to take me too long. So what I decided to do was, instead, I decided that it was easier to buy a building and renovate it, buy maybe an old hotel, renovate it, and put it up in the market very quickly to be able to expand, which is exactly the strategy we use. So the aim was to dot ourselves across Nairobi and Mombasa to be able to come up with a similar concept. As long as I know that the hotel could be able to offer the 6 brand promises, I was good to go. And that's how we grew the hotel from the first hotel of 28 rooms to today to 8 hotels of over 1,000 rooms and conference capacities of 5,000 people. So that is a story about PrideInn. And whilst we were growing PrideInn, I'll talk to you about this RevMet later. This is one of our other companies. So RevMet is one of the companies that we actually created during the time of COVID, having seized opportunities. And I'm going to tell you exactly what RevMet is. It's a platform that connects real and virtual meetings. We saw that as an opportunity, and we partnered with Safaricom and Microsoft, and we created this RevMet. But I'll tell you exactly what this is later on. Then we also have a company by the name of Buffets of PrideInn. This is now where we do outside catering for weddings, baby showers, bridal showers, birthdays, graduation parties. One of the other companies that is very interesting and which is very close to my heart is Cake City. I'm not so sure how many of you have ever sampled Cake City in Nairobi. Cake City was started in early 2013, and we have grown Cake City from 1 branch to nearly 8 branches now, just in a couple of years. Cake City, we do various flavors of cakes, and we have this, there's 7 branches: Westlands, Langata, Kigiri. Now, it's actually very fun in terms of how Cake City also started. Cake City started off during the month of November. We have a lot of birthdays in my family, and you know, and generally my wife was the one who was ordering all the birthday cakes for the family. And one of these days in November, she came in. She was kind of confused, or rather, should I say confused or agitated. And she was also, because she got delayed in ordering one of the cakes, and at that time she could not get the cake immediately that she wanted. She was told that she would have to wait for 24 hours to get a birthday cake. And she tells me that, that I can't have a variety of cakes. Why can't I choose what cake I want, what sort of cake I want? Now, that was at that time, 2011, 2012. And we were just seated, and I saw the disappointment in her face that she could not get the kind of cake she wanted. She could not get it at the space she wanted. And we had a discussion. And then suddenly the next day I started thinking, let me go and visit those bakers at that time. Because I've always liked tapping into opportunities where I see that there are players in the market who are not doing what they're supposed to do, or either there's no players in the market who are supposed to deliver what we want in general. So I asked which particular cake shops was she going to, which particular bakers was she going to, and that's where I went. This particular baker shops I went to, and I realized that indeed what she said was the truth, and that's what formed about the idea of creating. I said, not who goes to a baking. We are at a time where we should get a cake within an hour's time, and we should get cake delivered. I want to be able to choose the sort of cakes I want, and especially having done my several visits to Europe because of my hotels, I realized that there's huge opportunities in terms of the cake business, which hadn't been tapped into. And that's how Cake City was started. And today we sell huge amounts. With all the 7 branches, we sell huge amounts of cakes. So that's how Cake City was started. And then we have the Pride Drive, which is the car rental. The Pride Drive was just rebranded from the glory from my family business, which is the car rental. And we have a fleet of over 200 vehicles in terms of all sorts of vehicles. We do car rentals, transport, leasing. There's the Pride Fuels, which is now fuels, both retail and wholesales, oils, lubricants. This is the Glory Safaris. We do safaris across East Africa, the vehicles that we have. Muthaiga Business Center. This is just our commercial and our commercial rental business, real estate business. Then we have something known as Westlands Banquet Center. 11. This is specifically a banquet facility with our pillarless hall of over 1,000 people. Brickwood Apartments. This is what Brickwood Apartments look like. So this is what the group is about, and how we have tapped into the various opportunities. So again, remember, the one principle that has taken me through about is KISS principle, the keep it simple and short. And and I've also given a bit of the history about how these various companies have been formed. It is all about grabbing into opportunities. And sometimes some businesses are gained out of grabbing into opportunities. Some have been created because we realized that there was that we were getting a good deal out of something, and we capitalized on that particular. And most of our real estate business was because we saw the opportunities. Even when we created the Muthaiga Business Park, this is our office park in towards Muthaiga. And Muthaiga Business Park was also created for upcoming entrepreneurs and business people. Why? Because this is a concept where we came in saying that, we wanted to give in offices which included light, electricity, and, easy, how should we say it? No long-term contracts or whatever. It's more like, more operated like a hotel kind of business where you walk in and you can rent an office for maybe 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. Okay. And should you decide that you want to vacate the office, you can vacate it anytime also. And that has really worked for us in terms of Muthaiga Business Park. So these are all opportunities. Anyways, whilst creating all these various companies, there have been various business failures also. All right. We had created once upon a time a company that we created. I've had 4 business failures, and I've lost huge amounts of money in those businesses. And one of the things that I want to advise you all as upcoming entrepreneurs, as business people who are looking out to growing your business, just remember something that, one of the things that I follow in is in life, you either win or you learn, you never lose. So anytime I do make a business decision, and in the event because of maybe because of a decision that I made, and maybe I didn't consider things carefully, if I did lose some money, I would just tap myself in the back and say, you know what, son, it's okay. You have just paid your school fees. So chill out, relax. You have just paid school fees, and this will teach you a couple of things. And this is exactly, and I want you to make sure that as long as you try and make sure that you learn from whatever mistakes you make, that is important. So I'm going to stop the share here for now so that I can see you guys all more better. So with these 5 business failures, and I will still talk to you about this, exactly what happened and how this business is failed. But first, I will start off with some few small topics on how to start a business. Now, generally, we all have our dreams and visions, but we all have our dreams and visions. Some of us want to grow and get into a business. Some of us want to grow a business. Some of us, and the first thing, the moment you say you want to grow your business, how do you maintain sustainability? How do you do this? The first thing that we prompt to do is we want to go to Google and ask Google, how do we do this? Am I right or wrong? And the moment you go into Google, you see tons of articles. You start reading the first article, the second article, the third article, the fourth article. And before you know it, it has really complicated things. You've gotten so much information that you don't know exactly what you do, and you're yet confused, and you get back to step number 1. So this is exactly where I am today. I want to use this opportunity to share some knowledge, and I want to clear some myths about entrepreneurship. I want to clear some myths about growing your business. Trust me, it is not hard. It is extremely easy as long as you keep it short and simple. All right. I don't know how many of you. So generally, a lot of times, perception is the single biggest reason as to why people don't go into their businesses, or maybe they don't grow, or maybe they don't, because of the perception that how do I grow it? Or maybe if I grow it, things are going to be too difficult, or sometimes entrepreneurship has seemingly become more difficult. And that's where you see reasons like, I don't know where to start. My previous bad experiences of owning, or maybe someone has owned a business before, it has failed, they've lost money. So, and they feel that, no, business is not for me. But I am here to tell you that I've got 8 successfully, profitably running businesses, and I've had 5 business failures, and I've lost lots of money. So even if you've had previous bad experiences, that is not the end of it all. Some people say some people have these social circles and naysayers. They said, you really can't do business on your own. You're meant for employment. Those are the things that I want to clear out today. People ask themselves, what if I lose money? So if I am one of those people who started a hotel chain, started PrideInn Hotels and Resorts in 2011, and within a span of 8 years, we've grown from 1 hotel to 8 hotels with over 1,000 room nights and with over 1,000 room nights. And we are now one of the largest hotel chains in Kenya. There's a particular formula that I followed, and everyone can do it. There's no one who's not able to do it. You just have to believe yourself. You need to be passionate about yourself, right? There's no shortcuts, but there's easy ways to do it. And this is exactly what I am going to take you through today. But before I get to, do you know the reasons why businesses fail? Would you want to know why? There's 2 reasons why businesses fail. So do you know the 2 biggest reasons why businesses fail is because you go into business purely to make money. Now, remember, yes, you want to make money, but if you purely go into the business because you want to purely make money, sometimes you say, oh, my colleague there, he's opened this clothing business and he is making tons of money. You know what? I want to do the same. So if I just go into the same business and if I just charge a little bit better, I'll be able to make money too. So if you go into business purely just for the sake of making money, I can promise you're out there to go and fail in this business. And the second thing is you have a fantastic idea, you have an amazing concept, you have an amazing idea, but the lack of knowledge on how to grow your business. Now, remember, the moment your business doesn't grow, the moment you have a static business, you are going to run out of cash flow. So one of the things that I want you to take away today is it is very important that you continuously grow your business. Whilst profitability in any business is important, but cash flow is even more and more important. As long as your cash flow is running, as long as things are happening, things are moving, your business will survive. So, and this is exactly what I'm taking you through. And trust me, and when I say these 2 biggest reasons, is things that I've experienced myself. Why? Because I am a culprit. I have gone into businesses purely because someone else was doing this business and I thought I could do it better. And I started and I could do it the same thing. I could make money. And I have lost money also. During the COVID time, when I was actually seated down, I was talking to a friend and he was telling me, that doing business is so hard. I just can't seem to understand how do I go about it and what do I do? And I asked him, so what have you do? What sort of work have you done? He says that I've been searching on Google for the past 3 months, but I can't seem to understand because there's so many articles and there's so many presentations and it's so difficult. And that's when I thought that, I'm hoping that we all have adults here, but yes, entrepreneurship and growing your business, it's very easy, I say it's like it's like making love. It's fun, easy, and you can only get better at it. Sorry if that's the way I put it. It's the better the effort, the better the outcome. That's how it is. And I will actually give you some 9 steps. Now, I call them the sexy 9 steps. I did not say the 69 steps. Remember, I said the sexy 9 steps that I follow that would give you, and if you follow those steps keenly, I can promise you that you will see that you will be able to achieve business successes as much as you. The business growth will become much easier. There you go, guys. So let's start with the sexy 9 steps. So let's start with first opening your own business. Now, remember, like I said, when you go into business, don't go into business purely to make money. You're going into business, you want to find the right opportunity. If you are going into business because there's a particular need in the market or you're solving a problem, just like I did when I was Cake City. Now, remember, with Cake City, we started off with 1 branch with our first month selling as 200 cakes. Today, we sell over 7,000 kilos of cakes every month. It is about opportunities lie around. So the first step is find the right opportunity. And if you currently own a business, you need to ask yourself, what is the USP about your business? What is it that you do different from your competitors? Are you really solving a problem? Is a question you need to ask yourself. Or is your business just any other business because you have created your business just like that? Remember, unless and until you're not able to show your clients that you're offering a unique opportunity. When we opened Cake City, we told our clients that we are going to give you a cake in 1 hour. Order a cake and get the cake in 1 hour. You can choose from varieties of over 70 varieties of cakes. We will deliver cakes free of charge to your house, to your doorstep. And this is what people want. This is the convenience people want. So find the right opportunity. Opportunities lie around us everywhere. The question you need to ask yourself on a daily basis, and to be able to get that opportunity, is you need to ask yourself, what is it that you are not really happy with on a day-to-day? Sometimes even within your own day-to-day working environment, you think, I wish this company did this, or this company can charge such an amount and they provide a horrible service just because they have no competition, or I wish there could be this particular service and it would make my life so much easier. I'm not asking you to go and dig through tons and tons of hips, but no, look at your day-to-day life experiences and look at what exactly you do. And is there anything that you think is so uncomfortable or it's inconveniencing? It could be within your neighborhood, it could be within your city, it doesn't have to be within the country. So if there's any particular area that you feel that there's an opportunity, or there's areas that you're not satisfied with things, you yourself as an individual, that is an opportunity that you have found. The next solution is, now remember I said the 69 steps. The first is find the right opportunity. Second is research and identify the solution. Now you have a problem. Think about what is the solution that you want to offer. So when I was maybe opening the PrideInn Paradise Beach Resort Convention Center and Spa, this is an opportunity that we got in 2015. Tourism was on its knees in Mombasa. But the question, and I got this beautiful location in Mombasa on the beach, and I fell in love with the location. But the question that started making me think is, there's so many beaches also already. What is it that I'm going to do that is going to be different? And that's how we put in a convention center of 2,500 people, because we wanted, and I was very passionate about mice. And I thought that, we wanted to create something that where Mombasa, because I realized that Mombasa did not have much of mice. When I say mice, I mean meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions. And we also put in the only safari-themed aqua park in the beach resort, because I realized that kids, a lot of the beach resorts, yes, they had pools and everything, but no one had an inbuilt aqua park within the resort. And that is all the two things that made us different. So as much as it wasn't a unique idea, I made sure that we had something that was unique for our business, for our company. So again, you research and identify the solution. What is it that you're going to put in? Or what is it that you're going to do? What sort of solution? If now there's a problem, how are you going to solve that problem? Or what is it that you would want to see a company do this? And there it is. You have created your company now that is going to give in the solution. Now the third step is feasibility studies. Now this is the part where people think that in feasibility studies you have to appoint some professionals to do feasibility studies. People, I'll tell you, I don't do that. My feasibility studies is called my mom and dad test. I simply, once I've created my solution, once I've created my opportunity, once I've created my solution, I would simply go to my mom and dad and tell them, guys, I'm looking at doing this. Have you realized that there's this particular problem that happens? And my mom starts talking, yeah, and my dad starts talking, yeah, this. And then I tell them, this is the kind of solution I want to create. And you see them indulging and they give in ideas. Then I talk to my friends and I see that, yes, they indeed have the similar kind of problem. And then I talk to some colleagues and they all realize. So basically my feasibility studies is done by myself. I do the workabout, I do the things myself, and I try and understand, is there a problem? Is that a particular problem? Or is it just me who's feeling the problem? Or is it everyone who's feeling the problem? If everyone is feeling the same problem and everyone agrees that there's a problem, and this is a good solution, I have a business idea that I know is aimed for success. And if everyone else doesn't see, or maybe if my mom's eyes don't glitter and I'm talking to my mom and dad and the eyes don't glitter and I feel that they don't understand the idea, or my other colleagues and friends, and I'm doing my walkabout, they don't understand my idea, I would simply go back to my drawing board. So that is the third. So remember, I've said the first one is find the right opportunity. 2 is research and identify the solution. The third is the feasibility studies, which is what I call my mom and dad test. Then the last comes in is finance. Now, a lot of people drop out at this moment in time to be able to find finance. But remember, finance should never be a problem. Finance should never be a problem, because a lot of people shy out thinking that, okay, how am I going to get finance? I can't get finance. So they stay back. But go sit down, negotiate. Maybe if you want to create, let's say, in your neighborhood, there's a particular, maybe there's the nearest market is maybe 5 kilometers away. And the nearest market is 5 kilometers away. And you think that there's a possibility or there's a need for having a mini market. Now, remember, when you want to create a mini market, start small, dream big. We remember we started our PrideInn Hotels Resorts with a small hotel of 28 rooms. Today, we have over 1,000. Start small. Look at the smallest you can start, And sometimes maybe when starting by looking at starting like a mini market, when I was starting my Cake City business, all right, we went to sit down with the landlord and negotiated with the landlord that, I didn't want to spend money on in terms of, the deposits, and there's huge amounts of deposits of 3 months deposits. A lot of things are able to be solved when you sit and negotiate. Everything is negotiable over table. So sit down, don't just shout that, oh, it might not work out. How do you know it will not work out? unless and until you go and don't discuss. Then you have your friends, your family. Once you have a particular idea and you're excited about it, you're passionate about it, you are going to have people who are going to be able to assist you. But you need to discuss, you need to talk. Unless and until you don't open your mouth, nothing comes in just like that. So, try out, go and negotiate, go and discuss. If you're going to start a mini market, for instance, in your neighborhood, go and talk to the landlord and tell him that I don't want to pay a deposit, but I don't want to do this. Instead, I'm willing to pay maybe a little bit more for the rental, and see how things start working out. Talk to the shelf suppliers, talk to the companies, and you see that a lot of times you would start coming in with, and a lot of times you would not actually require finance. And if the little finance that you would require, you could actually get it from family, friends. But apart from family, friends, and those sort of negotiations, you have banks and financial institutions. Even banks and financial institutions, they are there to make money also. So they want to give out finances to upcoming businessmen like yourselves. But yes, you need to put things together. And then there's private investors. To these days and age, we are very lucky to have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you're able to link in with people where you could give them, keep it short and simple. Again, you could link them up with that. This is the sort of opportunity that you have, and you think this is a great opportunity, and this is what you can do. And you would see that a lot of times finance would become a lot more easier than what you actually think, because let finance element not pin you down of not being able to create your own business. And sometimes on LinkedIn, Instagram, you might have to invest some money into creating those premium accounts so that you're able to link up with the potential investors or with the potential people who could finance. Remember, unless and until you don't invest, there's no return. So bingo. Now, once you follow the first 4 steps, which is find the right opportunity, research and identify the solution, feasibility studies, which is what I call the mommy and daddy test, and then there's the finance. You follow the first 4 steps. Remember, I talked about the 69 steps. I've already given the first 4 steps, which is now creating a business. So bingo, your business is open. You have an idea. You have the finance available. Your business is opened. Brilliant. This is now where you tap yourself on the back and say, well done. Now my business is open. Now the next challenge comes in is, how do I grow my business quickly? Now the 6th, or should I say the 5th step, is communication and visibility. Now, guys, when it comes to selling, be visible. There is no shame in selling. It's just sell. Communication is the single most important factor in business. We have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Attend industry events. A lot of times when you see people, you talk to people and then you ask them, do you have a business card? They excuse yourself, oh, sorry, I've forgotten my business card, or my business cards have run out. You want to grow your business? Have tons of business cards in your pockets, because wherever you go, whether you go to a family event, whether you go to whether you go to a family event, whether you go to an industry related event, make sure you have your business cards. You should be talking about your business everywhere. There's nothing personal or business, all right? It's communication. It's about as much as you communicate. The more you communicate, the better it is. There's communication. And one thing is, I hate the fact that people love hiding behind emails. I only believe that there's 2 forms of communication. There is the face-to-face, and there's face-to-face and individual meetings. One-on-one and face-to-face is what I call in. A lot of people, sometimes they want to pitch business, they want to sell by just writing an email. Dear sir, I do A, B, C, D, this. Can I supply you? How many of you guys receive tons of spam emails and things like this in your email? Right? No one is going to answer you. But instead, if you really want to sell to someone, find out as to which particular industry-related event would he attend to, and go and meet him there, go and pitch him. I remember in my early days when I joined KEPSA, I used to go for a lot of those events, those sector board meetings, those various events, which I'm sure Timothy was here, and also the KEPSA members that like Daniel who are here, they know about the various events. And I would attend each and every single event, make sure that my business cards are with me. And I would make sure that I would spread my business cards as long as people knew about my company, PrideInn. So communication and visibility is very important. Make sure that you attend every possible, shout. Unless and until you don't shout, you don't talk about your business, no one knows. Then number 2 is the team. Now, one thing I have been very glad about, and I'm very blessed with, is the growth of my business has not just happened because of myself. If at all, sometimes I say that my growth of my business has happened because of the fantastic team of people that I've had. I've had some of the best people on board, people who have really worked hand in hand with me, people who have thought about things. We have brainstormed, we play hard, we party hard, we work hard. right? So one of the most important thing is that you need to bring in, first and foremost, bring in the right people on board. Don't do shortcuts here. You need to bring in the right kind of people. You make sure that you train them, you empower them, and you motivate them. A lot of times you don't want to empower them. If you're going to hire smart people, what is the point of telling them what to do? All right, you might as well not hire smart people. But if you're hiring smart people, let them, because as your business grows, you're going to hire people because you can't do everything. So as you hire people, you want to hire people who are with positive attitude, who have the passion within themselves. And there's one business formula that I follow. No, actually, I love. How many of you guys love maths here? Mathematics. There's a maths formula I want to take you through. But if you don't love maths, I don't take you through that maths formula. There's one formula that I generally use, which is happy staffs is equal to happy customers. Happy customers is equal to happy profits. Or rather, happy customers is happy business is happy profits. And happy profits is happy you, happy stakeholders. This is the maths. I've just seen a comment here by the maths of money. I love that, by the way. Thank you very much for wrote that. The maths of money. So remember that happy staff is equal to happy business is equal to happy customers is equal to happy profits. So you're going to get the right team of people. Make sure that you are keeping them they're extremely happy, because when they are happy, they'll make sure that your clients are happy. So they come in first. Now, remember, whilst I say this, I am also on the process of learning. I try my level best on a day in, day out basis to try and see whatever I can do to ensure my team is happy. I don't call them my staffs, but I call them my team. These are the team of people where if Pride Group is where it is today, it is because of the fantastic people who have touched their lives, who have touched my life also. People who are no longer with us, maybe they have proceeded on, they've moved on to something better themselves. Some people who have opened their own businesses. Some people who are still with us, but these are the people who have grown us to where we are today. And I am sincerely thankful. I'm hoping that some of them are listening. And I do say thank you very much to all my team. Because of you, it is where we are today. So I talked to you about the team, and I've given you the maths of the maths of business. So I've talked about 6 things. I remember I told you about the sexy 9. Then we come into the 7th one, which is keep your word and price. Now, you remember, your reputation is the biggest asset and the biggest goodwill that you would ever have. When you've promised something in business, when you say that you promise that you're going to deliver a cake in an hour's time, you must endeavor to deliver that cake within an hour's time. Don't promise what you can't deliver. Sometimes you can get onto pressure where client tells you, no, I want this by this date. I want this by this date. But if you can't be honest to your client, I cannot do this. I can only do it in a particular way. All right. So, but then it is important where now your reputation is at stake. You must make sure that you keep up to your word, even if it means that you're going to lose some money. All right. Your reputation is your single biggest goodwill that you have. Then we go on to the 8th one, which is expand fearlessly. Now, this is where a lot of people, remember, once you have been communicating, you have got the right business idea, you have got the finance in place, your business is open, you are there communicating with the people, you have a brilliant team of people in place, your business is going to expand. When business expands, you're going to have the demand of getting new machines. You will have to get new machines. You might have to grow your space speaker. Now, that's where a particular question that I ask myself is, I love asking myself, whenever I'm looking at expanding, what's the worst that can happen? If I can handle the worst, I will quickly dive into it, and I will learn as I'm navigating. I learn, as I say that I will quickly dive and I learn on the way. So remember, sometimes you got to expand, and you got to expand at the right time to ensure that you are going to bring in quality and efficiency. Sometimes you got to get the right machines. Don't start negotiating that, okay, I can see this particular machine, it is only at maybe 100,000 bob, but then the good quality machine is going to be at 200,000 bob. You're better off investing in the good quality machine that runs. And I talk through experience where I have invested in systems which have not worked for us, and you end up spending 3 or 4 times more. So you have to ensure that you are able to deliver quality and efficiently. When it's time to expand, don't shy out in expanding and saying that, no, there's this problem, there's that problem. When you have to expand, you have to expand. And again, expansion does not necessarily mean that it will cost you money. Sometimes it's just an element of negotiation, right? Talk in your mouth. You'll see a lot of times that you'll get to expand without even having to really negotiate much. Then we have the last but not the least, which is discipline and duties. You must be disciplined. Remember, you must treat your business separately. You must treat your business separately, and your company and yourself separately. A lot of times when you see that your business has made $1 million shillings of revenue and you think, you know what, now I owe myself a brand new Rolls Royce or a Mercedes. No, you and your business is separate. Please make sure you collect a fixed amount of salary, and you should live within your salary means, within your salary, whatever the business can afford in terms of a salary. Also, when I say discipline duties, you must make sure that you are paying your taxes. Now, a lot of SMEs get the urge that, hey, you know, what does the government do for me? Why should I pay my taxes? People, don't do those shortcuts. The government, as much as you might have a lot of complaints, you might say whatever you say, but the government keeps us secure. The government keeps this country running. We have organizations that keep this country running. All right, today, if you're living, we're breathing. And if you look at it today, the fact that we are here, it is because there is someone somewhere doing a lot of hard work. We don't know exactly the sort of hard work they go through. So you must make sure that you get your accounts done properly, and doing your accounts properly and paying your taxes properly is not just for the sake of the government. It is for your sake, because unless and until you don't, the only way you'll be able to understand your business if you have a proper set of audited accounts. When you have a proper set of audited accounts, you'll understand where your business is going wrong or where your business is going right, or where is it that you're spending more money. That way you're able to sit down with the auditor, and your auditor is able to tell you that, look, these are the areas that you need to really, really work on. All right. And that way you'll be able to grow when you have the right audited accounts. And then when you approach banks, you will see that when you go to the banks also, it's the banks, when the banks look at, you know, when they look at your audited documents, they know that where your business is, and they're able to finance you further on to ensure that you are growing your business. So don't do these shortcuts. You know, let's go the right way, support the government, make sure that within the discipline duties, you spend time with family. You know, yes, business is important. Sometimes we get emerged, we get involved in the business so much that we never get to spend time with family. But make sure you spend time with your family, and, you know, consult every time that you're doing things. I always try and consult with my dad and my mom and my wife, and, you know, I tell them this is what's happening. I keep them involved, even up to with my kids also. I tell them this is what we did, this is what I'm doing. I've had some of the most brilliant ideas coming in from my daughter. Sometimes I would even talk to someone from some of my team people, and sometimes you would see that the best ideas come from randomly from anywhere. So I don't shy out in talking to everyone about the business. Pray hard, play hard, work hard, keep on reassessing your business. Are you really, because sometimes we become complacent and we don't really provide what we're supposed to provide. You know, we're coming to promising that we are going to provide our cakes in 1 hour. All right, but there's a particular reason that you came into the business. There's a particular problem you came in to solve. But if you're not solving that problem anymore, you are going to be wiped out very soon. So you might as well make sure that you are reassessing your business. So guys, I have given you the sexy 9 steps, which is find the right opportunity, research and identify the solution, feasibility studies, which is what I call my mom and dad test. Then there's getting the finance into place. Once your business is opened, communication, visibility, and being bold, getting the right team of people. Keep your word. Your reputation is your biggest asset. When it comes to expand, what's the worst that can happen? And discipline and duties, making sure you pay your taxes, spending time with family, pray hard, play hard, and work hard. Now, remember, as much as I've said this, I am still yet learning, and I still get learned from other senior business associates. I am still also I'm still improving myself. Life is a continuous improvement. Business is a continuous improvement. So this is what it is. I know, Mangeshi, I have already passed away my time. I still had another 2 more areas to talk on. I don't know if you want me to continue, or do you want to break off the session?
Please, let me tell you, Hasnain, we are writing pages and pages of these notes. Your energy is amazing. Please don't let us stop you. We will get to those questions. I'm sure everybody online wants to hear more of what you have to say. So if there's 1 or 2 pointers you want to add, please go ahead and add. We're listening, we're taking it all in, and it's brilliant. Please keep going.
Thank you very much, Mangeshi, and I appreciate your good words. Thank you very much. So I have now told you about the growth of the sexy 9 steps about growing your business. Make sure that you also bring in mystery shoppers to continuously assess your business. So in summary, I would say, before I move into the next topic, is keep digging until you find something that you're passionate on. Because when you do something that you're passionate about, working will become like a holiday. And when working becomes like a holiday, you will do whatever it takes, since you enjoy doing whatever you are doing. And when you deliver excellence, success will chase you, will hug you, will kiss you. Simple as that. Remember, do something that you're passionate. Don't do just work because you are supposed to work. Work because you are passionate about it. When you work on something that you're passionate about, it will become like holiday. You will really enjoy what you're doing. All right. And like I really enjoy with whatever I do. In fact, and that's when you see that you are inclined, you are excellence, you're inclined, and you'll do whatever it takes to deliver excellence. And success will follow you. All right. And like I said, guys, I am still making, I'm still, whilst I say all these things, this is only the knowledge that I'm sharing based out of my experience. I am not saying that I'm 100% perfect. No, I am still learning till today. I still learn from my team people. There's so many things that I learn from every single person within my team. I've had people who have taught me a lot of things that I would have never ever known. People who come and touch my lives, and they come and just tell me some few things. And within their discipline and duties, you also make sure that whilst your business is growing, please don't forget the less fortunate in the society. Make sure that you look after them, because this is where God blesses you abundantly. Make sure that whatever knowledge that you have, you possess, and you pass on that knowledge also. Share it with people, because by sharing knowledge does not mean that will make you, that will grow, that will fold your business. No, if at all, when you share your knowledge, you're only going to grow further and further, because God's blessings, Almighty God's blessings, are abundant, and He sees the kind of things that you're doing, and He's always blessing you. So just like today, I've tried to share my knowledge as much as I can with everyone. And today, if you're having 200 people or 300 people within this forum, and these 300 businesses tomorrow grow and they start becoming bigger businesses, eventually you will see that everyone benefits, the economy benefits. So the question then comes in, then the next question that people want to know is, so this is how it is. And a lot of you guys are going to ask me now, how did we manage COVID? Now, remember, when things happened last year, like I said, I am one of the luckiest people, and I'm one of the most blessed people to have had a wonderful team of people. These are people I would do anything for. They are amazing. I have from my general managers to my financial controllers, to my entire team, everyone. These are people who are fantastic. They've done whatever. And when last year, when COVID came in, and we had to really sit down, and we sat down and we brainstormed. We sat down for hours to understand what is it that we are going to do, how are we going to survive ourselves. And our team of people came in by themselves, coming in with suggestions. And we wanted to keep everyone sustainable. We wanted to keep everyone safe. So we decided, that we came up with solutions in terms of making sure that we were all taking a small downsizing and things. We negotiate a small downsizing so that everyone was kept safe. Everyone was going on. Everyone was being sustained, and we could ensure that everyone was having their shelter, their food, and everything. So one is, we sat down with our team, everyone was in agreement. And when you have a fantastic team and you make sure that they're happy, when you make sure that they're happy, they will always be loyal to the company, and they will do whatever it is. We negotiated with our banks, suppliers, and again, relationships are very important. We have managed to try to make sure that we have got good relationships everywhere. So relationships, making sure that you're keeping your relationships, are very important. And we talked to our clients, we talked with our banks, suppliers, and other people. Generally, also that we during that COVID time, we also sat down to understand our business better. And it was at that time we redesigned our business experiences. We redesigned in terms of where is it that we were going wrong. This was the time when we were reassessing our business to understand where is it that we were using that opportunity to do thorough cleaning. We were using that opportunity to doing thorough cleaning. We were using to catch up with our maintenance, and we redesigned our service delivery. And we came up with a company where we came up with a new mission of the company, which is, we are a team of people who are obsessed with service, experience, and variety. This after COVID, we are a team that is so obsessed with service, experience in all our companies, within the group. Any of our companies you go to, you will see that the service, the kind of service you get, the smiles that you get, the experience that you will get, and the variety that you will get is top notch. And this is all these things that came about during the time of COVID. And this is where I tell you, like my team, we sat down and we discussed and we brainstormed. And this is what you get for having a fantastic team of people. So this is how we managed COVID. Now, one of the things that we also did is now you can, when we were talking, during the COVID period, we realized that we could tap into some opportunities. Now, this is when, remember, during the COVID, social distancing was in place, meetings, conferences, events were not allowed. So this is when we sat down with our team of members. And one of my IT managers, we suddenly realized that we wanted to realize that how do we want to come about, because our conference business, we were losing on our conference and our mice business. What do we want to do? And one of my IT managers suggested something. And from that suggestion, we expanded, and that is how RevMeet was created, which is where we created a platform which connects real and virtual meetings. So you could literally have a meeting, you could have a team of people in Mombasa, a team of people in Nairobi. They could assemble within the conference room, and we connect them using RevMeet. So that was an opportunity that we created in partnership with Safaricom and Microsoft. And so even when such things happen, don't sit down to say that, you want to just close things. No, it is about sitting down with the team, understanding what are the possible opportunities, let your team understand the challenges the company is going through. We have tried to be as transparent as possible with our team so they understand where exactly the company is, all right, and where exactly the company is and how do we go about maneuvering these things. And you get to people to brainstorm, and we come up with some fantastic and brilliant ideas. And yes, we are very hopeful, and we have an aggressive vision within the PrideInn Hotels and Resorts in terms of expanding and growing to every major county within Kenya. All right, we still believe in the hospitality industry. We still believe there's huge opportunities available. It is, and one of these things that we are very aggressive about. We want to make sure that we put up a hotel. We have already outlined 10 counties, which we want to 10 hotels over the next 5 years that we want to put up over the next 5 years. And we are confident that with the sort of team that we have, the sort of people that we have, the sort of concept that we have, it's something that's going to excel because we believe in Kenya, we believe in the government. Remember, it all starts with your positive thinking. And so even right now, as we talk, there's another new company that I'm also, or rather not company, but a new project that I'm working on also. Something which is going to be interesting, which is going to be excellent. And this new project is going to, because I do realize that the cost of marketing, the cost of talking about your business is becoming extremely expensive, extremely expensive. And how do you keep on talking about? And I've decided this new project that I'm working on is going to literally slice marketing costs into a 10th by making sure that you get 10 times more exposure. And it's something that I will be introducing, I'll be talking about this project in the next 1 month, or maybe in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because I understand that a lot of times SMEs and companies that are growing, financing those marketing related activities, especially with the number of companies the number of companies that are marketing these days, making sure that you are standing out of the crowd, it becomes expensive. And this is what this new project is going to be aimed at doing in terms of ensuring and assisting the startup companies to be able to market more effectively. So all in all, Wangeshi, I think I have more or less talked about whatever I wanted to talk to. I've already taken up more than I was supposed to. I'm sorry about that. I'm hoping that it has been a bit of learning experience, but I'll be more than happy to accept your questions. Remember, passion is everything. As long as you're passionate, excellence and success will follow you. Thank you very much.
And let me tell you, Hasnain, your passion, nobody on this call has any doubt that you have passion about what you're doing. Thank you so much. So I've got lots of questions, so many comments. We're going to get to all of them. Most small-scale entrepreneurs have a wide scope of products and services which keep them in business. Would you advise a wide scope of products and services with a small market range? Or would you say you do more products, and a wider market range? And then the second question is, with the high cost of running a business, what are the top probably 5 what are the top 5 things that you should you should prioritize, because you've got these really high costs of running a business? How do you prioritize what it is that you're going to pay to avoid losses and keep the business going?
The first question was, Wangeshi, if you just repeat the first question so I could just record it properly again, please.
Yes, the first question is about your business. If you have a small business, do you do very many products? Yeah. And therefore, spread your market that way? Or do you just focus on a few and then go deeper within that particular market?
Okay, very interesting question. Thank you very much. Now, the answer to that is, you need to understand your business better, and you need to look at the products that you're selling. Remember, a business is all about solving a problem. So if you're going to have 30 products, and those 30 products, out of those 30 products, only 5 are solving a problem, the rest are just there to sit on your shelf, do you really need them? And I have gone through this product assessment before, all right, where we try and ask ourselves, do we need these products? Are they going to make us, are they making any difference to our clients' lives? Remember, business, you're better off sometimes focusing on 5 products and ensuring that you are doing and delivering the 5 products so well that you are known example of Wangeshi of ABCD. You want this, someone just knows call Wangeshi. Or you want this, someone just knows call Faith, because you have branded yourself so well of that particular product. And so sometimes when you're doing too many products, yes, if all your products have huge market opportunity and you're solving needs with your 50 products or 30 products or 40 products, by all means. But again, like I said, you need to reassess your business, which is number 9 of our sexy 9 steps. Reassess your business in terms of, are those products making business sense to you in terms of the sort of revenues they're generating you? All right, what are the things like, are they expiring? Are those perishable products? Do you risk losing those products? So this is where the reassessing your business comes in. You need to decide whether it's solving a problem or are you just doing it for the sake of doing it. All right, I would advise in business, always make sure you're only doing products that is solving the problem and is enabling you to you're better off having efficiency with 5 products, which is making business sense, rather than having 50% efficiency with 50 products. 100% efficiency is what it is, because that's what creates your reputation. Then the second question was top 5 things that I should prioritize in business to ensure to minimize losses. Am I right, Wangeshi? It's very hard for me to just list down those 5 things as per se, but I have one thing I have continuously emphasized. There's 2 things that I want for you to be able to bring out this list of the 5 things. I had mentioned 2 things within my presentation. One is communication and which is what is it? We said about communication and visibility. Okay. Then the second thing that we said. So the first one was communication and visibility, and second thing is we said is discipline and duties. Now remember one thing, that communications and visibility is something that I've mentioned continuously about. So if you're looking at your top 5 things you should focus on, I would definitely focus on communications and visibility to ensure that I'm not minimizing my losses. I always say, let's focus on the top line. How do we grow the top line first? Because once you grow the top line, the bottom line somehow takes care of itself. That's number 1. Number 2 is discipline. Now, remember, again, you need to look at your business, treat your business separately from yourself. And that's where you'll understand what are those 5 things that you need to prioritize. And when I said that you need to make sure that you are looking at you're making sure that you're employing the right people who are giving you the right accounts on a monthly or on a yearly basis or on a quarterly basis. It is from those accounts you'll be able to understand. Sometimes we do business thinking we are making money, but we are actually not making money. Now, when you're looking at your profit and loss accounts is when you realize that there's a problem somewhere where exactly you're spending money. Such that now when you are looking at those areas, you prioritize on those areas and you'll know that these are the 5 areas. Every business is different. So I cannot give you the 5 straight answers. But what I can say is with discipline, making sure that you employ the right people, getting your accounts in time will tell you the 5 areas that you need to focus on to be able to minimize or make sure that you don't that you have your profits.
Please define your leasing business. Does it include vehicles and hotels? Do you lease spaces in the hotels? So that's one question. And then, as you said, there were going to be lots of questions around financing, how you managed to convince the bank with especially that first product. If you could tell us a little bit more about how you got financing for your for that first hotel that you did, and you know, did you need collateral? So all of that. And this person is asking about your governance structure.
Start by the governance structure. Yes, every company has got its own entire team, from CEOs to from CEOs. You have CEOs, their own chief accountants or financial controllers, the entire team, and they have their own vision, they have their own mission, they have their own expansion strategy, they have their own. So every company has got its own entire team, and even up to the hotels. Every hotel, as much as we have 8 hotels, we have a full team in every hotel. Like I said, empowerment is what I strongly believe on, and I encourage my team to ensure that they make decisions as much as they can. And I tell them, you know what, even if a lot of time people are scared of making decisions because they believe that they might make a mistake. But hey, guys, we are human. So unless and until we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. So I encourage them that even if you do make mistakes, I will back you up as the MD of the company. And so that's what happens. And that way we ensure that we don't get tied up in bureaucracies. So yes, we have an entire team of people in every company, and we make sure that we bring in the best people on board, and then we ensure that we empower them and allow them to do. So that way, then I would only more or less be involved in understanding, or they know they would have access to me as in when they need to clarify, or they just need to get my piece of my mind in terms of on a certain matter. And therefore, I'm able to fully focus on the growth and the expansion and of the business. Then I'm going to go into the financing model. Now, remember, when you are meeting banks, okay, like Wangeshi said, your passion plays a lot when you go to banks. It is not just the collateral that matters, but also sometimes it is the way you present yourself, the way you show your idea, the way you talk about your idea. You may go to the bank and tell the bank, okay, I want to do this business. Okay. And then the bank wants to know more. Okay, so what have you done? Oh, I will go and do research. No, you can't. Don't go with the half-baked information. When you want to go to banks, you know, banks are there to ensure that they have to make their money. Banks are there to ensure that, yes, they are going to recover that money. So they need to be convinced. So if your energy levels are low, if you're not able to, you need that. And that's why I particularly say that once you found the right opportunity, you know, you need to, once you found the right opportunity, you have gotten the right solutions. All right. At that time, if you're looking at going to the banks to get the finance because it's a large project, you'll need to bring in 1 or 2 experts to be able to assist you, to be able to come up with a whole business plan so that you understand and you're able to do a whole presentation to them. All right. In certain cases, but there are some certain banks who would generally give without a collateral also. But apart from banks, then you also have those institutions, investment institutions. What are they called? Venture capitalists who would give in without collaterals, you know, without collaterals. And that's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. So yes, I with my particular business model, with my first financing, indeed, there was a small collateral that I had asked of one of my friends, and he agreed to, after giving him the whole passion, the whole idea and everything, he agreed. But when we took the finance from the bank, it was much more larger than what the collateral is. But the rest of it was the business plan that did the magic, and the business plan and the discussion and the way I presented the entire project to them also. And then the last question that I'm going to answer is the leasing. So within the car rental business, we do vehicle rental, we do vehicle leasing. So yes, we lease out our vehicles. Okay, let's look at this way. In our businesses, we are always flexible to listening to any ideas, to listen to any opportunities. Nothing is locked in stone. There's nothing that cannot be done. So what happens is we look at every opportunity that comes in and we decide whether we want to move on with it or we don't want to move on with it. So that's how it is. So even within leasing, even within hotels. So if there's anything, please feel free and get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to look at it. And there's one more thing that I would want to say, even within the financing model. Remember, when you're looking at, I had emphasized start small, dream big. Sometimes when you go in with too big a project, all right, and you have not had any previous experiences, it does become difficult. So you need to understand exactly that how can you start the smallest. The bank needs to know that you have done your due diligence. And also there's those private investors who are available, who are people, there are people, a lot of people who have the money available, but then they don't have the time to do any new business, or they don't want the risk. These are people who are investors, and these are people who are risk takers. But again, I've had so many people who have pitched to me, but when you see them coming to pitch to you, they don't come with complete information. And I wouldn't be able to have the time to be able to give the second opportunity to pitch. So when you're looking at pitching a business opportunity, make sure that you're able to pitch it in such a way that sometimes we can see passion through people's eyes, the way they talk about things, the way they do things. So if you're not passionate about it, you must be passionate about whatever that it is that you want to operate your business on. And I can promise you, a lot of times the finance will never be a hindrance to you. And like I said, don't back down because one bank has said no, or the second bank has said no, or the third bank has said no, or the third or the fourth financial investor has said no. Keep on moving, keep on pushing, right? Because this is where the perseverance comes in, where the art of making sure that you are continuously pushing for your agenda. If you really believe in your idea, you will eventually get the funding that you need, right? And sometimes it is just about negotiation. It is about talking. That's where the whole winning streak comes in.
And Fauzia wants to know, do you have a management dashboard where you get frequent activity updates across the different businesses?
For internal staff, or is it for external people?
No, for yourself.
I use my phone and my face-to-face meetings. Like I said, I only believe in two forms of communication, which is face-to-face and a one-on-one, a face-to-face and a phone call. So I would pick up my phone call and I would monitor exactly what's happening in terms of my CEOs or my managers. I would just have a phone call with them once every 2 days or 3 days, and they'll tell me what's exactly happening. But otherwise, I generally trust my people fully in terms of they do whatever they have to do in terms of making decisions. So sometimes I don't have to talk to them because we sit down maybe once a month with all of my managers, and we just have a discussions. After that, they are on their own and they decide what they want to do. That way, I don't have to really keep a tab and read on. I am very poor when it comes to reading big documents. So that's why I prefer talking more.
I'm learning how important delegation and trust is in business. But how do you ensure that your employees are not stealing from you? How do you ensure that?
A good question. Well, first and foremost, we take time to hire people. I think I can see one of my GMs here. Her name is Anne Peggy, and she is my first. She's a lady general manager, the first lady general manager of a 5-star resort in the coast. Now, a lot of times, so when I was doing my interview rounds, I took her through 5 painstaking interview rounds because I wanted to understand her first, and I wanted to really read her and to understand her thoroughly well. And at that time, there was this ish that, can a woman be able to run a 5-star resort as large as this? But I have been a very keen believer of women leadership. I've always had some fantastic, obviously, I believe in the male leadership, but also women leadership has proven to be exciting, has proven to deliver proven to deliver amazing results. And, women have proven to show that personalization when it comes to clients. And so we took our chances on her, and she has been working stride after stride, and she's been doing amazing things at the resort. She has really upgraded the standards. She has really upgraded people. She's really upgraded things. And but yes, the point is I took her through 5 interviews. So we generally make sure that we do a lot of studies. We understand. We don't rush into bringing people as much as you're tempted into. And now what happens is then the question that comes in, if you have employed the person, then you might as well trust him. Otherwise, if you don't trust him, then why have him on board on the first place? All right. Yes, you'd have those 1 or 2 people who would then realize that they have an opportunity to steal. But when you have, like I said, when you have your systems in place, when you decide that you want to pay your taxes in time, when you make sure that you have your accounts in place, within a span of 2 months, 1 or 2 months, you'll be able to easily catch that person, and you will get to learn from it. But ideally, when people know that systems, when stealing happens is when systems are not in place. When you decide that you want to, how should I say, do the chini stuff, or do the things that because you want to pay your taxes. Make sure you're paying your taxes and things in properly, and you'd see it starts from the top. If you do things, everyone else knows what you're doing, and that's how it goes. So generally, like I said, get the right people on board, get the right team on board. Now, once you have got them, and once you have chosen to bring them on board, empower them, trust them, and they'll deliver the results. Maybe perhaps what I can say is people, if I can request everyone, because generally I do release some training videos every now and then. I have my own Facebook channel, so people can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. It's very simple, Noorani Hasnain or Hasnain Noorani. You'll see me either way on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. And I definitely believe in passing on the knowledge. So I do frequently release some training videos, and I have already released some 2 training videos for those people who are now in the working industry, how to grow yourself. For those who don't have jobs, I've already done a training video of how to get a job, how to get your dream job quickly. Then I've also done another video. Which is how to, if you're working in a company, how to grow quickly in your company. So please, if that is going to share some knowledge with people, or maybe they have anyone who know, it will be insightful for those people, for their own team members or for their own staffs also.
Absolutely.